Hi, today this is Lee from the Home Cooking Coach, and today we're going to make a hearty, nourishing beef and vegetable stew for wintertime. This is wonderful to eat. So let's start. So what we need to do is cut our vegetables first. So we got carrots, celery, and I've got some swede and some onions. You can use pretty much any root vegetables. We can also now going to cut some beef. So what I got here is a chuck, which is a really cheap cut, but it has a lot of sinew and it's really tough. So you couldn't cook this as a steak, but this is perfect for slow cooking because of all the sinews and the gelatins in it, and it makes it nice and thick and really hearty kind of stew. But it also requires you to cook it out for a period of time. So once you've diced these to a fairly big chunks, what we then need to do is to fry these. So in a hot pan with a little bit of vegetable oil, we put these in the pan to fry off into a nice caramelization. This kind of gives it that Maillard effect, and it also adds to a lot of the richness and flavor to our stew. You can probably get away with not doing this, but the flavor of it won't be as nice if you don't. The trick to this is to make sure that you don't overcrowd the pan, because what it will do is cool the pan down and you end up stewing the steak, and that's what you don't really want to do in this process. What you want to do is get that really nice heat onto it and you get plenty of color. So then what we need to do is get our slow cooker. We throw in our vegetables that we've cut up before and our seared steak. We add our stock and vegetables, and then we can add our mushrooms. I threw in some bacon because bacon makes everything taste great. We throw some garlic, and there's also some herbs. So I think I'll put some thyme in here, and then we'll just put it on to close the lid and allow it to cook. So while it's cooking, it'll take about 4 to 5 hours for the cooking process, and plus you just want to basically cook it until the meat is starting to break down. So in the meantime, what I like to do is make a kind of an uncooked roux, which is equal parts butter and flour. And what this does is makes it makes the sauce of the stew thicker. I mean, you can cook the stew for a longer time, another extra 4 or 5 hours, and the potatoes and the meat will break down and it makes a natural sauce due to the reduction. But because we don't have that much time, I thought I'll cheat and make this thickener. So I got my kids helping me, and hopefully they don't try and kill each other. What we try and aim for is to make a nice paste. With this paste, what we do is we break it up in little bits, and with our stewing pot, we break these little bits of roux bits up and put it into the pot. You need to make sure it's only a little bit. You don't want to throw the whole thing in, because what you end up with is this big dollop of kind of like a gross dumpling. So you want to break it up a little bit and mix it through. And then once I've done that, I like to whisk that through around with a whisk, or you can use a spoon to try and break that up. We can repeat the process by adding a bit more, and you just keep going until you get the desired thickness of the stew. I then like to add a bit of soy sauce, which is kind of like a salt seasoning. I like to throw some barbecue sauce. You can throw tomato, which is kind of a sweetener to help balance out the flavors. So have a little bit of a taste, figure out what you like, and try and find that right balance and to enhance the natural flavors of the dish. And that's pretty much it. And so now we're going to plate up. So what we have here is some mixed lentils and beans, boiled some broccoli and its stems, and then our beautiful, rich, hearty stew. You can also add some red wine to this, which would go really well, but because my kids are eating it, I tend to not use the wine. Okay, there you go. If you like this video, you can subscribe and watch these other videos that I've got with some awesome recipes, or comment if you have any questions. Love to hear from you. Thank you.